Okay, right. So, large-scale projects such as infrastructure and information technology projects are more common in different or industries. Such projects are more complex, have a high consumption of resources, and can bring significant changes to organizations and community. So when the project size and the intensity increase, adopting proper risk management measures and planning for this best result becomes even more crucial. That is why I was sharing with you right from the beginning of this teaching since morning for almost an hour, trying to let you to understand better the risks taken in managing big projects or any other project. So now we are going into the deep of saying that infrastructure can be a large project, information technology can be a large project, and let me see if I may ask if you have in mind any large projects that you are all doing different in your own way. Individual, if you have any large project, you can also write it on the chat box. Because I know some of you, you are either president or manager or leader, strategic director. So please give us one or two examples of your large scale project that you are doing presently. Please. I would like you to write it quickly. If you are going through or you are managing a project, leading a team to achieve one big goal. So can you write it down for us, please, so that we know? Construction, wow, that is very good one. Very good one. Construction, yes, it's a large project. When you are doing a project on construction, it's not overnight, and you work hard, you think critically and also creatively in order to get the right product, right resources, and right people to work with you. A national campaign project, yes, excellent. Building and road construction, amazing. Relocating of our schools from the kids in Liberia with 200 kids. Yes, that's a big project, I'm telling you. Very big project, yes. Can one or two people also, because I know we're all managing one project or the other. I'm so glad that at least we are not just doing this diploma on project management. I'm so glad we are not wasting our time. We have the right people that need this knowledge. And like I can see that at least some of us are building, constructing road. Some of us a national campaign project, relocation of our schools from kids in Liberia with 200 kids. 200 kids is not a joke. It requires money, it requires facilities, it requires premises and other things like that. Okay. On the other hand, risk management is the systematic process of identifying, evaluating, and mitigating risks that affect a project. According, I would like to show this slide because it's got very important information. Okay, so I believe you can read that. On the other hand, risk management is the systematic process of identifying, evaluating, and mitigating risks that affect a project. According to ISO, that is why I'm showing you this, 331,000 or 3100 from 2018, Risk management refers to an organized method of directing and controlling an organization's operation regarding risks. ISO 2018. So there is also a legal requirement supporting this risk management project. The risk management process typically includes the following steps. Risk identification according to ISO, if some of us are familiar with that. ISO 2018. You might want to Google or research more about ISO. So process typically includes the following steps: the risk identification, risk analysis, risk evaluation, risk treatment, monitoring and review, communication and consultation. Please, I want you to get this. It is very, very important. This is to do with the IOS 2018 govern. It's just like legislation. Risk identification, risk analysis, risk evaluation, risk treatment, monitoring and review, and communication and consultation, which are very, very important. Let me ask you a question. When it comes to risk management project, to be honest with you, we cannot cover all for 1 week. But we are preparing you. We are leading you the way, guiding you to go out of your way to do more research. I'm going to discuss with Dr. Lonson very soon. There must be advance. Let's take it that whatever you've learned so far since Monday is elementary, believe it or not, because managing projects is a lifelong thing. You are doing a project that will last forever. And it has to be very, very well prepared, managed effectively. So I want to believe that what we've learned so far, I'm also taking it to myself as well, that it's an elementary. We need the intermediate, we need the advanced. Because when we're talking about diploma, just as you know, we have the OND, we have the HNC, and we also have the HND. So diploma in its own is a whole project. So 10 days is not enough. So you will need to grab all what we are sharing with you on these 10 days and go and research more and study. And if necessary, Dr. Lonson can come back and organize the intermediary or the intermediary of this program. Because one week or 10 days is not enough for this diploma. Okay, so please, I hope we are all still with me. Let's move on. Importance of risk management in large-scale project managing risks. Why is it so important that we know? Why is it so important that we take risks in managing a large-scale project? Why is it important that we take a risk or manage the risks? So importance of risk management in large-scale project managing skills is relevant to projects where these plans are developed and implemented, especially for vast projects. PMI 2017 defines risks as an event or a condition that, if realized, has a positive or negative impact on one or more project objectives. Unmanaged skills may cause serious adverse effects on large-scale projects. Unmanaged risks may cause serious adverse effect on large-scale projects, which include high level of financial loss, time consumption, organizational reputational losses, and even project abandonment. Risk management enables project teams to recognize threats and opportunities, their probabilities, consequences, and put measures in place to avoid adverse effects on projects while harnessing the positive ones. It can result in better decision making, appropriate management of resources, and higher level of stakeholders' trust. Very, very important that we understand that. Okay, let me show this because it's very important. Current risk management framework. Various risk management frameworks have been formulated to enable firms to follow proper procedures to address risks. Some of the most widely recognized frameworks will include Project Management Institute, PMI, Project Risk Management. This framework is contained in the project management body of knowledge. You can see all the accolades there. So this will guide and relate risk management to the context of project management. I believe all these books, you can get it and read more about project management, especially when you are facing a serious large-scale project. You need to prepare yourself and gain the valuable information before you can take the risks of managing large-scale projects. The second one says the ISO, like we said before. You need to read about the risk management guidelines. To date, this international standard presents principles, frameworks, and risk management processes relevant to organizations of different types and situations. Another one, COSO, Enterprise Risk Management Framework. The community of sponsoring organizations of the Tradeways Commission crafted the COSO framework, which links risk management to strategy, objective, and performance. May I encourage you to get more information about the PMI, PMI 2017, ISO 2018, and COSO 2017. Very, very important. So risk analysis and management for projects, RAMP. Risk management and uncertainty in this case relates to this framework, which was established by the Institution of Civil Engineers and the Faculty and the Institute of Actuaries Limited to the aspect of significant projects. This framework also helps recommending recommendations for managing risks on large-scale projects, but their success depends on how they have been implemented regarding the project situation. I think this is very important. If you're going to go through all this that you have written on this chat box of your large scales managing large scales project, I want to advise you that those three that I've mentioned, please read more about it. Like we always say, that lecturers are not to come and pour all the information on you. We are only giving you the guidance so that at your own spare time, you go and learn more to get a better understanding. Very important. So like I said before, we have the risk analysis and management for the project. So you have to take the risks, you have to analyze what you are going to be taking as the risks. You have to analyze the project. You have to analyze the resources that's available. You have to analyze everything before you can take up managing this project. Because it's a larger project, as you can see. Financial risks in large-scale projects are not limited to specific aspects and may cause qualitative shift affecting the project feasibility and the outcome. Such risks include cost estimation that can be off at the preliminary stage and even continued fluctuation of fund throughout the project duration. Which I think it is very important that you put some things in place before you start this kind of larger protection. Why? I mean, this project, because anything can come up at any time. Emergency can arise. Even the cost of your construction, the cost of your resources can increase. Most especially those that are in construction, infrastructure. The resources you are using now might be increased. The cost can be increased. So that is why you need to prepare ahead. Very important. Then the operational risks. Operational risks involve many elements that can potentially influence a large-scale project, daily implementation, and administration. So if you don't really operate effectively, it can affect how you are implying the knowledge and how you are administering the resources. It can affect. Such risks are likely to affect the time taken to complete the project and the resources used, and also the possibility of the success of a project. Then the next one is environmental and social risks. It has also become apparent that environmental and social risks play a significant role in large-scale projects and are gradually receiving attention due to changing awareness. Such risks may influence the success and the failure rate of the project. So let me quickly show you what I've just said so that you will get. Okay, so we mentioned of risk analysis and the management for projects, RAM, and then we talk about the financial risks, which I've already mentioned to you and explained a little bit. Then we talk about the operational risks, how you operate. We also have it. And then the environmental and the social risks. especially for those that are doing the road construction, building, and many more. Even moving the children from a low, smaller scales to the larger scales. Okay, so what are the 5 P's risk management? Learn this from Mastering the 5 P's for Project Success. Our oncoming risk management class offer an in-depth exploration of these 5. What are the 5? Let me see if we can grab it quickly. People, principle, process, practice, and perception. People, principles, process, practice, and perception. Those are the 5 P's. I believe you will remember that, and I believe they've taught us already during the week. So what are the 5 T's of risk management? Again, learn from Government UK, Gov UK, Risk Management Guidance. So I'm only giving you the points, but you need to elaborate it while you are studying at your closest. So what are the 5 T's of risk management from UK government policy? Risk management responses can be a mix of 5 main: action, transfer, tolerate, treat, terminate, or even take the opportunity. So let's see another one. What are the 5 steps of risk from 5 R's framework for reflection? 5 frameworks for risks are reporting, responding, relating, reasoning, and risk construction. And this makes sense of a learning experience. So when you are taking a risk, you have to be thinking about what do you want to report brought to your project management. How are you responding? And many more. Okay. Right. I believe that it's very, very important that we learn more on this. Like I said, to me, this is a big challenge for me to be teaching you on this topic, but I believe that I'm still learning. And what I've shared with you briefly, very, very important, that we take action by studying more, most especially all these ISO guidance, all these IMP, and many more. Very important that we study. Very important that we grab it. Very important that we understand it. We still have few days to go. And I want to believe that it is time for us to gain more knowledge on this topic. Let me see if I can go to my next slide. Okay. That one, I'm going to rush it for you. So please listen attentively. Effective risk management strategies. Risk assessment techniques. Risk assessment is the core of risk management in complex projects. We are focused on establishing 4 significant techniques that may be successfully used in project and field. So we just need to, I think my internet, can you still, let me see what is going on. Hello, can you hear me? Am I still visible?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, I
Because,
can hear you.
yeah, because my internet is It's okay. Let me just be careful. Okay. So risk mitigation. I like to show this, but I'm very careful so that the internet don't mess with me. So the first one is risk assessment. Next. And risk assessment is the core of risk management in complex projects. We have focused on establishing 4 significant techniques that may be successful use in project and field. The second one is risk. Okay. The second one is risk mitigation approaches. These risks are diverse, thus making it essential that sound risk management instruments to be developed to operate in extensive skills project. Then the third one is risk monitoring and control. Both risk identification and risk evaluation should be conducted regularly to ensure consistent risk management throughout various stages of this project. So it's a continuous management, consistent. So you need to be monitoring the risks you are taking. You need to be monitoring the management, how you manage the project. The fourth one is the stakeholders. Stakeholders management. In risk mitigation, managing stakeholders is now widely considered one of the most significant source of managing risks during the elaboration of large scale projects. So you have to, involve them consistently. Okay. So sometimes when we grab all this information, we have to put their reference so that we know that we are only adding more knowledge, but some of it has been hard work of our scholars or our researchers. So that's why we are able to do that. Okay. Right, but the question of response. I know we've been talking about risk analysis and on other stages. But can I ask question? Is it possible to avoid risks in managing projects? Please, I want you to talk to me. Please type something down or raise your hand and speak to me. Is it possible to avoid it or to prevent risks when managing larger scales projects? Dr. Lonsing, I would like you to put insight into this. Is it possible to avoid the risk? Is the question. Dr. Lonsing, Mrs. Elizabeth Vandy, everybody is quiet. Okay, second Dolin.
Okay, in response to your question, to my knowledge, it's not possible, but you can minimize risks.
So it is not possible to avoid it, but
To
we can
avoid it.
minimize the risks. That's a good That's the good one. Risks is always part of every project. Thank you so much, sir. It is possible to avoid it if you manage it. Okay. That's another powerful statement there. So, okay, let's move on. Risk can be limited, not avoid it completely. Amazing, amazing. Yes, please. Let's hear from others before we move on. I'm waiting. Who want to speak or who is typing? I believe my question is clear. Can we avoid risks in managing large-scale projects? Or another thing, well, some people have said this, yes, it is possible. Some people say, no, it is not possible. And those that have said it is possible, they said, but we can limit it. We can't avoid it, but we can limit it. Let's see what others said on my slides. Risk avoidance eliminates a specific threat or risk, usually by eliminating its causes. So if we can eliminate the causes of that risk, then it is possible to avoid it. Okay? Risk acceptance. Accepting the consequences should a risk occur. So when we prepare ourselves to accept the consequences, and then risk mitigation, reducing the impact of a risk event by reducing the probability of its occurring. So every answers you've given is reflect to this, and it is possible, to avoid it. It is also possible, but when you avoid it, you are not avoiding it completely. You are just limiting the threats that will occur.
Hello,
So
Your
let's look.
Excellency.
Yes, sir. I was asking
Yeah,
you, where were you?
sorry, I attended to emergency. I'm sorry.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we want to hear from you, sir.
Okay, ma. It is very simple. While complete risk avoidance is managing a large business is unrealistic, minimizing and effectively managing risk is achievable through strategies. Number one, risk management focuses on identifying, assessing, and mitigating potential threats to protect the business from harm, both internally and externally.
Okay, we are listening.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, I thought everybody heard me.
Yes, we heard you.
Okay, let me repeat myself. Okay, should I repeat myself again?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma. All right, what I said earlier is that it is very, very possible and simple in these ways. We can manage risks in these ways. While complete risk avoidance is managing a large business is unrealistic, minimizing and effectively managing risk is achievable through various strategies. Risk management focuses on identifying, assessing, and mitigating potential threats to protect the business from harm, both internally and externally.
Exactly. I totally agree with you, sir. Very, very important. Yes, it might be unrealistic, but we can also limit by identifying. And once you identify the occurrence, the consequence, the effects, the problems, then we can reason it together and see ways to overcome it or to deal with it, which is very, very important. So identifying it is very important, just like Dr. Lonson said. You have to identify the risks. Like I said right from the beginning, you need to identify the risks of that project, the risks of what will go wrong, the risks of uncertainty, the risks. So you have to identify all this right from the beginning. And it is so easy, just like Dr. Lonton said. Because if you can think, then you can know. If you can reason, then you can gain and learn. That is why it is so important that we all know this. Because we don't know tomorrow. We only know today. You set up these large scales of project. Yes, you've planned. You've made all your strategies. your goals, your objectives. Oh, yes, we all agree on that. But then there's some risks that you have to take. And if care is not taken, it depends on our preparation. How well are we prepared for this risk taking? How well? And through your preparation, you are also identifying. Because what do you want to prepare for? The risks? Because like they always say, if you can prepare yourself for the challenges that is coming your way, then you are halfway through to overcome it. But you don't know what kind of risks. You don't know the uncertainty. And that's more reason why knowledge is powerful. Because by you studying and learning and gaining and growing your mind for more information, then you have an awareness of what can go wrong around your managing the larger scales. Can I also tell you this, that the same project you are about to embark on, do you know that some people for years back, they've done it, they faced it, they took the risks, and their outcome is what we are gaining now. Like the person that built the house, the first house, like the person that built the airplanes, it's a risk that they have to identify and go through it, manage it, and they come up with it. And that's the outcome we are all enjoying now. So no project is new. It might be new to us. And that's more reason why we should research more. Think of a bigger project that is resonate with what project you want to do. And think of how did it overcome and manage and take risks to get to where they got to. How are they successful in that project? Like I said to you, theory is one thing, but you want to really go into project, you need to study more. Study the principles, the laws that is guiding it, and also study others that have done it before. It might not be the particular projects you want to do, but they've done something similar. Get yourself mentors, the right mentors that can help you through, that you can ask more questions. That is how you learn. And that's how you utilize your diploma, your theory, your knowledge. So it's very, very important. Let me see if I can share any other things again today. Then the next one, because we keep on going back to what we've said before, just trying to recap so that you get the understanding. So we're talking about the response to risks. We've said that. Then now we're talking about the risk mitigation strategies. We have the technical risks, the cost risks, and the schedule risks. Emphasizing the team support and avoid stand-alone project structure. Cost. Increase the frequency of project monitoring. Schedule risks. Increase the frequency of the project monitoring. Then increase project managers' authority. You give them the power to operate effectively. Then use what they call WBS and BERT and CPM. You will need to research on that. Then improve problem handling and communication. So improve communication so that anyone around you, including your team, the stakeholders, can understand better. Then select most experienced project managers. So it's the knowledge we are all gaining here. But some of you have already experienced and you can continue to experience. And then the last one is increase the frequency of project monitoring. You need to be monitoring what you are doing, how you are managing that large scale project. Increase the project manager's authority. Because the more you can give them, the more power you can give them, the more they can operate. The more trust that you can trust your project manager, the more they can perform. Then the risk planning, like we said, a risk management plan documents the procedures for managing risks throughout the project. And we mentioned before, the ISO, you need to read more about that, the IPM, and the other one, COS. So you need to also know about every legislation, every procedure, every guidelines that can support. Because if you don't understand and read, if you don't read and understand all these things, you might mess yourself up in the midst of managing this large scale. You might lose money, lose time, and even miss some of your work team members. So contingency plans are predefined actions that the project team will take if an identified risk event occurs. Contingency reserve are provisions held by the project sponsor for possible changes in project scope or quality that can be used to mitigate costs and schedule risks. So we need to plan ahead. You need to set aside some finances in terms of emergency, in terms of uncertainty, or anything that can creep on. Or even if you don't have the fund enough aside, you can still find a way of how you can get the funding, how you can work in hand with your stakeholders, how you can prove to them that you needed more resources, more support, more funding for the project that you are doing. So risk management questions that I want you to ask yourself, please write all these questions down because it's very, very important. Why is it important to take or not to take these risks in relations to the project objective? What specifically is the risks and what are the risks mitigating deliverable? Remember right from the beginning, I asked you the why, the W's. Now this is the questions that you can integrate with it. So number one is why. Why is it important to take note, take these risks in relations to the project objective? Why? What? What specifically is the risks and what are the risks mitigation deliverable? How? How is the risk going to be mitigated? How is the risk going to be mitigated? What risk mitigation approach is to be used? Then who? Who are the individuals responsible for implementing the risk management plan? When? When will the milestone associated with this mitigation approach occur? How? How much is required in terms of resources to mitigate the risks of managing larger scales projects? So, I think we just had this. We've done the response to risks already. Let's do the tracking risks. Top 10 risk item tracking is a tool for maintaining an awareness of risks throughout the life of a project and establish a periodic view of the top 10 project risk items. So list the current ranking, previous ranking, number times the risk appears on the list over a period of time, and a summary of progress made in resolving the risk item. And that will be your assignment. So let's see this example, which I believe it can help you. Inadequate risk item this month, last month, number of months, risk resolution progress. So, number one, inadequate planning. How have you been doing? How have you been doing this month, last month, the number of the month? Working on reversing the entire project plan? Then poor definition of scope. You need to look into that. How well have you been this month, last month, number of months? So holding meetings regularly with project customers and sponsors to clarify scope. So that is the solution or the risk resolution progress. Then absence of leadership, just like the other fellow on this platform has asked that question before. So absence of leadership this month. Is the leader went to sick? Is anything happens to the leader? Are we short of leader? Did they resign? Did they leave the job, or they are being promoted to another project? This month, last month, number of the month? Just assigned a new project manager to lead the project after one has quit with immediate effect. That's the way to go about that. Then, poor cost estimation. You need to assess that one and then reversing it regularly. How well have you used the finances available? What next? What are you expecting? And what is in the purse of your organization? So all these ones. And then you need to estimate of what you need to move forward. Then poor time estimate. How well have you utilized the time? This month, last month, number of the month. And then reversing the schedule. Maybe you need to increase the time. Maybe you need more time to carry out this large scale. Because remember, initially, your plans then might be different when you get to the middle of managing this project and when you get to the last bit. So the initial plan is just initial to work on. Things can change in the middle while you are managing your large-scale project. So tools for tracking risks. Database can keep track of risks. Spreadsheets, like those people that know how to do that. And more sophisticated risk management software helps develop model and uses simulation to analyze and respond to various project risks. Okay, finally, good project risk management. Unlike crisis management, good project risk management often goes unnoticed. Sometimes we can ignore it. And if we ignore it, we can't learn from it. We can, so we need to be noticing what steps we are taking in managing these larger skills projects. Well-run projects appears to be almost effortless, but a lot of work goes into running a project well. Then project managers should strive to make their jobs look easy to reflect the result of well-run project. Okay, I think we're doing very well. Emerging trend in risk management. Number one, technology. Technology-driven risk management solution using the newest technologies in risk management activities is a widely discussed modern trend that can significantly contribute to managing risks in big projects. The question is, how can we utilize artificial intelligence in this area? Because either we like it or not, AI has come to stay. How are we going to apply it? That's one of the reasons why we should go out of our way to learn more skills to enhance our risks of managing a larger scales project. So this is the question to ask yourself. This AI that everyone is talking about, how can I learn and apply it to my risk managing large scales project or any project? Number 2, integration of artificial intelligence in risk assessment. Big data is also a significant factor in managing risks in large-scale projects, where consultation of artificial intelligence is likely to grow at the breakneck pace. I said it. The use of AI in risk assessment promises what was previously unimaginable in the assessment techniques and data processing, identification of patterns, and patterns recognition. How do you integrate all together? So, challenges in implementing risk management strategies in a larger scales. Number 1, organization barrier. According to the study mentioned above, there lies ample evidence that proper risk management measures are valuable. Nevertheless, organizations experience considerable challenges when it comes to applying this measure in large-scale projects. The first is organization culture and resistance, which portrays significant difficulty in achieving the goals of EHR implementation. So you need to look into the organization culture. How does it affect? Why is it a challenge to us taking risks in managing high-scale projects? Number 2, resource constraint remain one of the strong issues regarding risk management in large-scale projects. Resources. The poverty of fund is widely accepted as primary impediment, but moreover, most organizations fail to justify the high initial investment in adequate risk management framework. The level of difficulties was concluded from the survey, and 55% of project managers identified that budget issues are a significant problem in assimilating advanced risk management tools and techniques. So you need to look into that. Then the third one is complexity of the large-scale project. Due to the scale of considerable project activities, several factors contribute to the difficulty of risk management implementation. Often such projects encompass a lot of risks that may interconnect with each other. And may I also say this as well, that communication. Because if you don't understand, if the project is so complex that your team do not understand this, they cannot perform or they cannot meet the expectation that you require. So, best practice then, and the recommendation to round up: developing a comprehensive risk management plan in light of research. Finding an effective risk management plan must be formulated to cover the problem that can occur during the large project. It should not be developed as a standalone separate process, but should fit into the management of the project as a whole and be in line with the primary organization goals. So to prove the hypothesis, a survey was conducted that we see 100 major projects across different sectors and industry, indicating that the large-scale project with documented detailed risk management plans well. Okay, so future research direction. Number one, the effect of AI, artificial intelligence, the feasibility of the new forms of risk transfer in large projects, the method for developing benchmark standard for assessing the return on investment of risk management, the adverse effects of global change in climate and global politics on the risk characteristics of long-term, big-scale projects. So in conclusion today, building a risk-aware organization culture. Risk awareness is crucial in large-scale projects. We need to keep training our team members, our employees about the organization culture risk awareness in terms of risk management to a larger scales project. Is our organization ready? Are we suitable? Are we flexible in terms of change? Do we understand exactly the project we want to carry on? Are we really communicating it well to our staff, our customers, and our stakeholders? Very important. So 5 times more inclined to international seek out and mitigate possible risks than their counterparts in organizations that suppress risk dialogue or restricted it to the top level executive. So one of the most significant factors in risk awareness is the training and education of the personnel. So on this note, let me quickly give you this question again. Can you avoid risks? What are common sources of risks for large-scale projects? How does spreadsheets help to quantify risks? How does simulation help to quantify risks? What is the best way to plan for the risks? What is the difference between contingency plan and contingency reserve? There's difference between the two, plan and reserve. What is the most critical risk for any information system project? What are effective ways of avoiding the risk of losing internal talent to external providers? Is users' involvement important to risk management? What is your reason? So comment on this source of risk. For example, the contingent management support. You can write, you can research, and get better understanding of all these things. Top management style. Alignment with organizational needs. Users' acceptance. Do they accept? Is it going to be acceptable after coming back? I mean, after managing the project and the outcome of it? Is it going to be accepted by people, by the customers, by the stakeholders? The shifting goals and objectives when it is necessary, especially in the middle of managing this large scales projects. So, on this note, I would like to say thank you so much. See you tomorrow when I will be sharing with you on my own favorite topic on the role of leadership, but this time in project success. I hand over to Dr. Lonsington. Thank you for listening to me. And if there's any other question, reserve your question. So over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. On behalf of Prestige Consult Consulting Firm, we
Did
want to
I
say
do,
a very big
do I meet your expectations? Well, you've already thrown me this powerful topic, and it's good. It's good challenge because I was able to research a little bit about it, and I believe my co-learners on the platform also will do justice on it by researching and studying and learning more and reading some of the legislations I told them to read to guide them and also to help them through their journey. I believe I have done this justice. Dr. Lancey, over to you.
Yes, Your Excellency, you have done more than our expectation. You have done more than. In fact, I was busy shaking my head and say, yes, this is my mama on board. Thank you so much. On behalf of PCCF, we are so grateful to have you in our midst. And just like I said earlier from the onset, that we are not going to take this collaboration for granted. Yes, I stand on that word. We will not take this lecture for granted. We have listened to you carefully, and we now understand deeply what risk management in project management is all about. And I believe other students that are on this platform have equally learned great lessons on this particular subject. Yeah, let me seize this opportunity to also appreciate those that joined, mostly some of you that joined recently, newly. You will not miss anyone. You will not miss anything. What you need to do is for you to get close to your colleagues in the class, and this particular subject will be posted on the platform, on the WhatsApp platform later in the evening, so that those that were not from the onset, from the beginning, can equally join or listen to what we were receiving from the beginning. Please, when you are joining this Zoom tomorrow, I want to appeal to you. If your Zoom name is Infinix, please try to change it to your real name, because we are taking records of those that are attending this class. Please, so that we can keep accuracy of the people that have joined. All the best. I wish you all success in your endeavor for today. May the Lord bless you. Thank you so much once again. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
And please do me a favor, just because many people were not able to join. Okay, that's one of my YY.C.I International from Brazil, using iPhone from Brazil. Okay, all right. So just to remind you again that almost 20 something students, I think, have applied for this course, because I also follow up on the WhatsApp. And for one reason or the other, some might not be able to join because they don't have the access to the Zoom. And some of them might be working in the morning, because I chose to use morning section. I work in the afternoon as well. While some also might not join for any personal reason. So can you do us a very good favor? We are trying our best to record it and upload it into YouTube, and then we send the link this afternoon or this evening to the WhatsApp. But if you can do, because I'm not too sure if there's any lecture going on this evening, but if you can do justice to it, share what you've learned on that platform, watch the video again, and let others learn from you. You know, we are all learning together. So I'm going to share the video, but from now on, I'm sure the platform is opened. Be a good student. Share what you've learned on that platform. If you have any questions at all, you can either save your questions till tomorrow, because I will be on live tomorrow, or type your questions on the chat box, and I believe my able lecturers, other lecturers, will be able to answer your questions. But keep the momentum going. Get that WhatsApp busy by involving and not just be an onlooker. The more you share, the more you participate, the more you ask questions, the more the better understanding. The more of the better understanding of what you've learned is the possibility of applying it into your project that you are managing, and the more better you will become effective and efficient. So it's very important that we do that. I want to appreciate all my great leaders on this platform. Thank you for joining us. I want to first specifically appreciate Ambassador Adesoji Oluwasoya Talabi from Brazil. Thank you, sir, for joining us. My own PA, Ambassador
Thank you so much.
Lukman. Yes, well, thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Ambassador Lukman Nuruddin, thank you so much for joining this morning or this morning or this afternoon. And whoever is called Technospark, we don't know your name. Thank you for joining us. Infinite X6525, we don't know your name, but thank you for joining us. Mrs. Elizabeth Vandy, thank you for joining us. Mrs. Patient Jala, thank you for joining us. Mr. Second Dolly, thank you for joining us. And many more. Mrs. Elizabeth Adelowo, thank you, ma'am, for joining us. And Mr. Unisa, thank you so much for joining us. And many more that they are having difficulty in connecting. I really appreciate you all. So on this note, permit me to, I don't know if Dr. Lonson would like me to end this class now.
Yes,
Okay, so permit me to end this class now so that I can do the complete recording and make it available. I will send both the recording, the link from YouTube, and also the notes so that you can get more information. Please, it's not a matter of cut and paste. It's a matter of you getting better understanding and research more on what we have shared already. So I will send the PowerPoint for those who need it, and then I will send the video link. So thank you so much for joining us. And please, tomorrow is 10 o'clock sharp. I will open the Zoom. Please join us on time so that we can finish on time. You know, tomorrow is Saturday. Some of you might have a party going on or one occasion, one appointment or so, or engagement. So the earlier we start, the earlier we finish. So some of us can do some shopping and cooking. So please join us tomorrow, 10 o'clock sharp. And I promise you, the earlier you join, the earlier we can finish up tomorrow, especially when I will be teaching on the leadership and also the success of managing the project. Very, very important. So please invite as many that can use their Zoom to join us tomorrow. So on this note, may the Lord bless you all. Have a great evening. God bless you.